Hello YouTube, this is part 1 of the blind eye tutorial that I promised like 2 months ago. So, this is going to be broken up into 3 parts. I'm going to break it up into 3 parts. Part 1, how to track the eyes. Part 2, how to make the eye effect. And part 3, how to composite that effect into your footage. So, having that in mind, let's get started with part 1, which is how to track your eyes. And as normal, we're going to import our footage by going to wherever we saved it and just clicking and dragging from the file browser. Now I have the footage that I'm going to track. Hit Control F to frame it. And I also have this image of some marble that I just pulled off Google, and it was labeled for reuse, so I assume it's okay to use in this video. I'm also going to change the length of my timeline to fit my footage. And side note, very important tip, I found the next frame button. I've been looking for that forever, and some guy posted it on a forum. It's the bracket next to the P. The bracket buttons are forward and back. It's awesome. Okay, now that the micro tutorial is out of the way, let's add in our tracker node by selecting our footage node, hitting Control Spacebar to bring up the search menu, and typing in tracker. That will add in our tracker node. And now I'm going to hit F2 with the tracker node selected and rename it eye track. Okay, then I'm going to rename tracker 1 to right eye track. Then I'm going to come up here to modify. Oh, it's not there yet. Okay, after I track it, I'll go to modifiers and I'll rename it in the modifiers context because it's going to have a separate name there that will show up when you apply this track to other things like masks. So, now that we have our track here, I am going to scale it a little bit to fit the eye a bit better. I forgot, can you? Yep, and you can click and drag on the screen. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And actually, I'm going to go to the end of my footage because I blink at the very beginning, and that'll throw the track if I start over there. I could start just after the blink, but I'm going to start from here so I don't have to do as much cleanup. I'm probably going to have to do the same amount of cleanup. So, set it there, and then just track reverse from current frame. And then just let Fusion do its thing. It'll be done in a few seconds. Alright, now that our tracker is done tracking, you can see that it went crazy there for a second. That is because when I blinked, it lost the track, and now we have to clean it up. So, to clean it up, all we're going to do is we're going to come up here with the tracker node selected. I'm going to view it over here. And I'm going to bring that down about to the center of my eye. And then I'm going to use the next frame buttons to go forward a frame. Just bring it down to the center of the eye. And when my eye's closed, I'm just going to put it in the center. You could leave these over here, but it's just going to make it look a bit nicer, because we're going to mask around the eyelid later. And there we go. And we can look through our track to make sure all is well. And actually, I want to move it over a bit because it's not quite centered. So I'm going to move it there, and I'm going to track forward from there. Alright, now let's see if that looks any better. Yep, that looks alright to me. So now that our tracker is cleaned up, I'm going to come over here to the modifiers panel with the tracker node selected, modifiers, and you see here you have eye track tracker 1 path. We're going to rename that by selecting it. It'll be highlighted blue when it's selected. If you have already tracked the second eye, then just click which one that you want to rename, and when it's highlighted blue, hit F2. And I'm going to name it right eye track path. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the second eye. I'm not going to add in a new tracker node though. I'm just going to come over here and add in a new tracker. But before I track tracker 2, I'm going to disable the right eye track. Because if I leave that on, it will start tracking this one simultaneously. It will track all active tracks down there in the tracker menu panel. So do the same thing, come over here, scale it a bit. I'm going to start from the end. All right, and then track backwards. Okay, that eye actually got the track back after I blinked. But I still have some cleanup work to do. So I'm going to just scrub through. And that one's actually really well centered, so I'm not going to retrack that one. But I am going to come over here to the modifiers panel with the eye tracker selected. And you see there are two now. So I'm going to select this one so that it's the only one highlighted blue and hit F2 again. Call it left eye track path. Okay. And I'm going to rename it over here. Left eye track. Okay, and now your eyes are tracked. And I know this one is short, it's because I'm kind of pressed for time right now, but the next one will be a lot longer and a lot more in depth on how you take these tracks and you put them to use, how you use them, basically. So, until next time, go make something awesome. I'll see you then.